Don't miss out on our live coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft all weekend long, including tonight with day number 2, as we'll be breaking down the Kansas City Chiefs selections in round 2 and 3. We'll be doing some giveaways, answering your super chats, and more. It is going to be a great time this evening. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central Time, right here at the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I need at least 20 of y'all to subscribe to the channel and make sure and join us for our live show tonight. We'll see you this evening. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV to subscribe now for free, and we'll get started with today's show. Round number 1 in the books. The Kansas City Chiefs go with Josh Simmons, the offensive lineman from Ohio State, as they traded down from 31 to 32. And now we look ahead to today's action, as the Kansas City Chiefs have 3 total picks in rounds 2 and 3. Who could they select with those picks? We will tell you coming up in just a bit. Break down those players and go over the selections that I have, some potential targets for the Kansas City Chiefs here on today's show. Before we do that, let's go ahead and look back on last night's action of what exactly went down in a very eventful first round. Cam Ward was expected to be the number 1 overall pick, the quarterback from Miami by the Tennessee Titans. He was, but then things kind of got crazy from there as the Jags traded up from 4 to select Travis Hunter, the corner/wide receiver from Colorado, with the Browns. The Browns got quite a haul to make that trade. Well, Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State, he went number 3 to the New York Giants. Will Campbell, the offensive tackle from LSU, went 4 to the New England Patriots. Mason Graham ended up being the number 5 pick by the Cleveland Browns from their trade down, while Ashton Jeanty went to the Raiders, the running back from Boise State at 6. Armand Mimbo, the offensive lineman from Mizzou, he went to the Jets at number 7, while Tedero McMillan went to the Panthers with the 8th pick there, the wide receiver from Arizona. Kelvin Banks, who was on the board for the Chiefs, he was long gone before they could even think about him. He went 9 to the New Orleans Saints, while Colston Loveland, shockingly, went before Tyler Warren did. The tight end from Michigan at 10 to the Chicago Bears. Mikael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia, went to the Niners at 11, while Tyler Booker, the offensive guard from Alabama, big shocker, went way higher than expected, 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan, went to the Dolphins at 13, while Tyler Warren went to the Indianapolis Colts there at 14. Jalen Walker, edge rusher from Georgia, went to the Falcons at 15, while Walter Nolan was selected by the Arizona Cardinals with the 16th pick. Other selections include Shamar Stewart to the Cincinnati Bengals at 17, the edge rusher from Texas A&M. Seattle goes offensive line with Gray Zabel from North Dakota State at 18. Emeka Ibuka, wide receiver from Ohio State, he goes to the Bucs at 19, while Barron, the corner from Texas, goes to the Broncos at 20. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle from Oregon, he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21. Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina, goes to the Chargers at 22. Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, goes to the Packers at 23. Donovan Jackson, offensive lineman from Ohio State, he goes to the Vikings at 24. Then the Giants traded back into the first round for a second first-round pick. They go Jackson Dart, the quarterback from Mississippi, at 25, while the Falcons at 26 went with James Pierce Jr., edge rusher from Tennessee. Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia, he goes 27 to Baltimore. Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, he went to the Lions at 28. Josh Connerly Jr., offensive tackle from Oregon, he went to the Commanders at 29. He was a name that was being talked about for the Chiefs. Maxwell Harrison, the corner from Kentucky, he goes to the Bills at 30. And then we saw the Chiefs at 31 trade down 1 spot, pick up a 5th-round pick in order to swap with the Eagles, as the Eagles go with Jahad Campbell, the linebacker from Bama, and then the Chiefs ended the first round going with Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle from Ohio State. So that leaves today in a very interesting spot. A lot of guys that were mocked to go in the first round, the likes of Shedeur Sanders, Mike Green, Will Johnson, several others, are still available today. Now, the Chiefs do pick late in the second round, so while some of those guys that we thought would go in the first round probably are not going to be available when Kansas City picks, there is a trickle-down effect where it should play to Kansas City's advantage of I would think that there's still going to be somebody very good available, maybe that they weren't expecting when they pick there at 63. Who do you want the Chiefs to draft today? Your chance to be the GM here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Weigh in our pinned comment today. Give me one name that you would like to see in Kansas City. I'll go over my selections for the Chiefs in just a moment, but we want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in and let us know. At 63, we go with Omarr Norman-Lott, the defensive tackle from the University of Tennessee. And one thing I'll say about him, too, is I know there was a lot of talk about his teammate James Pierce Jr., but Norman-Lott was even more productive than James Pierce Jr. was, and Pierce was a first-round selection. This would be a big help to the Kansas City Chiefs on the defensive line, especially as they look for some pieces around Chris Jones to add some depth, especially as he gets older here. Good athletic ability with burst, plus length, and massive hands. Size matters. Three-tech player who might be a third-down situational player in the NFL. He's a bit undersized and lacks great power for a defensive tackle. His stats, pretty solid in 13 games played. Had 4 total sacks, 4 TFLs, a lot of pressures, 27 to be exact, with 18 tackles that he took on. And according to Dane Brugler of The Athletic, here's his scouting report, what he had to say on Norman-Lott. An explosive disruptor and offers high upside for a coaching staff that can harness his energy. That sounds like Spags. Although he will need to improve his undisciplined tendencies, especially in the run game, there is no doubt about his NFL talent, but his ability to handle more of a full-time role is a tricky projection. But, hey, with Chris Jones and company there, maybe he doesn't need a full-time role right away. Maybe that's something he could potentially grow into. So let's ask you guys, should the Chiefs draft Omarr Norman-Lott? You got 2 options here. We'll put you on the clock. Type D for draft, P for pass. Weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Today's show is sponsored by GameTime. GameTime is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Recently got the chance to go to an Oklahoma City Thunder game. Took the whole family, and we say big on GameTime. Getting those last-minute tickets. The prices go down closer it gets to the event starts. And maybe you can't make it down to Oklahoma City for the NBA playoffs. Maybe you want to stay right here in KC and go see the Royals, the Current, Sporting KC, whatever it may be. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not. And then, boom, just like that, you're checking out on Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. And with the low prices tickets enabled feature, it allows you to invest more in buying food, drinks, merchandise, and more easily get a large group to come with you. So the money you're saving on tickets, you can spend that on other things. GameTime is the official ticketing partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, where their last-minute deals can save you up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. GameTime Picks makes last-minute ticket buying easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. They have their zone deals where you can save even more when you choose a section and let GameTime choose the seats. They offer all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. They have their seat views where you can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price is guaranteed, or GameTime will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPRTS for $20 off. Download the GameTime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Next up, we go just a few picks later to the 66th selection, and this is where the Kansas City Chiefs get a tight end. And I know what you may be thinking. Hey, you got Kelsey, you got Gray, you got Jared Wiley. In theory, you're pretty good at this position, but we don't know about the long term, as Kelsey might just play one more year. Jared Wiley's coming off an ACL injury. And then Noah Gray, I think, is a solid number 2 tight end, but I would be surprised if he ever became a very good number 1 tight end in this league. So you have to start thinking about your options. And I think Elijah Arroyo is a player with a ton of potential and has a high ceiling to potentially be a great tight end in this league. A really impressive athlete who can stretch the seam and win downfield. He's a decent blocker, but strength isn't there just yet. Maybe a one-year wonder with injury concerns that could be vetted, but in that 1 year, terrific. He had 7 total touchdowns, close to 17 yards a reception off of those 35 catches for 590 yards. According to reports, the Chiefs had a very good meeting with him back at the NFL Draft Combine. So there's already an established relationship there. And this could be a very good fit to help Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense. Dane Brugler saying this on Arroyo. Arroyo needs further development as a route runner and blocker to reach his ceiling, but he can bring an immediate vertical element to an offense with his speed, fluidity, and focused ball skills. He is easy to project as an NFL starter and a weapon for which defenses must account. And he didn't do a ton of testing, but he might be stronger than people think. Benching 22 reps, I think that says a lot for him as far as that goes. I think that, to me, is pretty good there for him. We got one more draft pick to get to in a moment, but first let's ask you, what do you think? Should the Chiefs draft Elijah Arroyo? You got two options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in and let us know. The last player on our mock draft for today, we're staying at the U. It's all about the U. Put the U up, right? Xavier Restrepo, wide receiver from Miami, is the second pick, and he was awesome this year. His numbers, he had a nice catch total, 69 receptions, over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns this past season. A really good route runner out of the slot who also had success downfield last season. So good at both things. That's really good to hear. Improved in contested catch situations and after the catch, has size and athletic limitations for his ceiling, though. But I got to tell you, when I look at Xavier Restrepo, this is somebody that I think I would feel very excited about of putting him in this scheme that you look at the receiving core, it's solid, but it has a lot of question marks. Rashee Rice coming off the injury, maybe a suspension coming, and we don't know if the Chiefs are going to keep Rashee Rice long term. Xavier Worthy had a good rookie campaign, but he might have a suspension coming himself. And then Juju and Hollywood Brown, you don't know if those guys can stay healthy. Adding Resrepo to the mix, I think you'd feel a lot better about your situation heading into 2025 for a guy that was so productive and that can play inside and outside. Dan Brugler of The Athletic wrote this: it can be easy to get caught up in Restrepo's lack of top-tier size and speed traits, but his toughness and dependability securing grabs will give him a chance to carve out a productive slot role in the NFL. His competitive nature and football instincts are similar stylistically to the traits of Julian Edelman. Hey, I think everybody would take a Julian Edelman on their team. His numbers, 40-yard dash time, not great, 4.85. But the other stuff, manageable. Shuttle time, 4.21. Three-cone, 6.83. Didn't test in jumps and did not bench either as far as that goes. Make sure to join us tonight. Live coverage of day number 2 of the NFL Draft right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We will see you this evening at 5 o'clock Central Time. Don't miss out right here on the channel. Continuing coverage all weekend long of the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later on tonight.